everyone, today we're going to show you how to change out your front temperature blend door actuator that may be sticking or clicking in either the hot or cold position. Now this applies to the 03 to 06 Ford Expeditions. If you own a 07 and newer, I have a video on that, I'll link to it down below. And if you have a 2002 or older, this may be very similar, so just follow along and see if you can follow it on your own vehicle and see if you can get it changed out also on there. Now, the problem with this actuator is the teeth inside here get busted up over time. They're little plastic teeth, and once they get broken, there's no way to repair them, so you just change the actuator out. Now, the actuator is only $35 from Amazon. I'll link to it down below. Don't get it from the dealer. The dealer is like $70, $78, so just get it from my link down below, and you'll save tons of money right there to start off with. And the second thing is labor. Labor on this thing, it calls for you to remove the dash on there, so you're going to pay between $500 and I would say $800 to get this little $35 actuator changed out. If you follow my methods, my video, and make sure you have one of these wrenches on hand. It's an 8mm gear wrench, or either buy one from Amazon also. It's like $8. You're still ahead, obviously. I'll link to that down below also. All you need is this and this, and we can change it out in about a half an hour. I'm going to show you how. Alright, starting off, first thing you want to do is take your shifter and put it all the way down to drive 1, engine off, parking brake on, and then we're going to take our steering column, same thing, we're going to release the lever on here, and we're going to bring it all the way down, like that, and then lock it once again. Next thing we're going to do is take off this panel right here, which goes all the way across, and it comes out as one piece on here. So the first thing we need to do is take out 2 screws. There's one right here and right here, and I'll get you a close-up of that. You can see them here and here, okay? So we're going to take those out, put you back down here, and those are 7mm screws. So any regular, you know, 1/4-inch drive socket set will take it right out of there. Deep well or standard, doesn't matter. Just get a 7mm and take these 2 screws out of here, and don't lose them. And then we'll throw it right there in the tray here so we don't lose it. At this point, what you can do is grab right here and just pull, and the whole thing pushes in and locks into the dash by push pins. It's a push retainers. See, just grab it like this. See, I'm grabbing it. I can have my fingers behind here now. Grab it again. Okay. There's not much effort at all, and it comes out like that. So let's go along, all the way along it right here, over here, same thing, and we're gonna get all the retainers free. Okay. So the thing's free. Over here, same thing. Okay. At this point, we should be able to pull it away. Like so. There's just some creaking and snapping and making noises like that. Don't worry about it. This thing is ultra flexible, and it's a little tight getting it out of here, but no big deal. So you pull the top part forward so we can clear the dash here, like that. You see I'm tilting it forward, and then up and out of here. So we're going to get up and out of here as far as we can, something like that right there, and hopefully you can see that. At that point, each one of these has connectors behind it. Your pedals, if you have adjustable pedals, headlight switch, info center, 4x4, and your climate control all has connectors behind it. So at this point, you can see we're out far enough. We can start reaching our hands behind here or behind here, unclipping them. They just got little tangs on them, and pulling them off of there. You just got to find the tangs on there and start getting them off of there. Like I said, don't worry about little creaking noises like that. Get all these out. And then reach behind right here to get this one out. This one's really easy. It's got a little tang on it. And I think this one's really easy too. Okay, so we got all these free. Now after all these are disconnected, they're the easy ones, right? You want to come over here, and then we're going to start concentrating on the headlight switch, connectors. Now this one right here is a little hard to disconnect just because it has thicker gauge wires on it, and the tang on here is pretty robust on there. So get a little pick in there and push down this gray tang and then pull it out. Okay, and let me see if I can get you back here so you can see this one comes out pretty easy. Okay, no big deal. Now there's one connector left and it's kind of a pain, so I'll show you how to do that up close. Like I said, this one, the headlight switch is a little hard just to depress the tab. This one comes right out. Whereas the adjustable pedals right here, there's a tang right there. You see it right there? It's a real small little tang, and you're going to need something like this. Push it in, and then you just pull the connector right out of there. See if I can do it on camera here. Something like that. And then at this point we can take this whole thing and get it out of here and put it somewhere safe so we don't step on it. Alright, next thing we're going to do to gain access is pull the glove box down. So you open it like usual, and then you take these sides on here, and they're flexible. You just simply squeeze them in and then pull past. I'll show you how to do that. Push in. You gotta push in pretty hard. You just get past, and then this whole thing will lay down and out of the way for us. Okay, so we're looking through the hole under the radio where the HVAC head unit used to be, and this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the actuator right here on top, and a few bolts, and this harness is in the way. So we're going to get this harness out of the way first thing. Just push up on this gray tab, and that'll come right out. Bend it down, and that'll get out of the way. Now, there's two screws that you can easily access. One right here, you probably see it, it's gold, okay? And then there's one right here also, very easy to access with our gear wrench that is also gold. So you simply just put it on top of there, and these are very coarse screws. So a few turns of this, and they're coming right out of there. Now if it's flopping or it's a little far away and it's hard to get to, what you can do is reach through the opening where you're at right now and put your finger on top and hold down that combo wrench, that gear wrench, onto there. So it stays onto there, and you just keep on cranking then. After that, once it's about halfway out like this, see this? It comes right out by hand. You see how coarse the threads are in there? I mean, it'll come right out. So luckily there's only 3 of these, and these first 2 are very easy to get at. So I'm going to try to do this one on camera. This is one of those you would use your right hand. You see back in there? It's on top holding it on there because it's pretty far back. And we can take our left hand up here and crank. Alright, this one should be free. Unscrew it by hand. Okay, so looking through the glove box opening here, up inside of here, you will see a white connector, and on the bottom side of it is the tab to release it. So release the tab and then just pull back on the connector and it'll come right out of there. Now here's a little tab on the connector right here. It's going to be just like this, stuck into the actuator. Push in on this and pull, and it'll come right out of there. Once you have this disconnected from the actuator, just put it down here, out of the way, and then you can look up inside there, and you should be able to see the very last screw back in there on the actuator. Okay, so it was a bit of a pain getting it out of there. The next step is getting it out from the dash here. I need to spin it so the shaft is over here. Okay, you want it over here, lay it down in this groove over here so we can actually get it past the harness and the dash out of here. And there it is. We got her out of there. Doesn't take that long, a little bit of wiggling, finagling, and it comes out of there. Alright, so going back in, same thing. Just need to sneak it past like that, okay. Get over here, down this groove over here, and we could start lining it up on there. Get it turned around so it faces the correct way. And then once we're here, we can concentrate on getting it back into the pivot shaft and after the blend door itself. Now the shape of the cross on here, I think it's a cross shaft, but it has one fat side to it, so this can only go in one way, so you can't mess it up. So you're going to get it on top of there, of the shaft in there. Probably have to use 2 hands, and then you can start lining it up on there and drop it. It should drop right in once it's lined up on there. Okay, I had to knock you over out of the way there for a second, but yeah, see, we're in the area back in there. I used 2 hands to straighten it out and force it over the top of that ridge right there, and now we just fell into it. You see how easy it falls in? That's how easy it should fall in. Now all you gotta do is turn the whole thing until it falls to the alignment tab right here, and this will align all the rest of the screw holes up. At this point, you simply put your screws back in the same way you took them out. Everything's all aligned already, and my only tip on this is to put these screws in as straight as possible, so they go in as easy as possible with minimal effort. And for the heck of it, I'm going to try a flex head, 8mm, going back in. Flex head actually fits on there, the same as a regular gear wrench. So a flex head might come in handy also. My suggestion is to do what I'm doing right now and get these easy to access screws in here. And again, you'd be reaching through like this, putting these screws in with 2 hands so you don't lose them. Hopefully you can still see this. I know it's a little dark, but yeah, it's a reversal of removal. Put your screws back in, put your connector back in. And the only one that's going to be hard on here is the 3rd one in the back. Now if you're really having trouble getting the 3rd one in the back here, oh, it's too hard, I can't do it, my fingers are too big or too small or too short or whatever. In all reality, with this alignment tab and these 2 screws in, this thing will never have a problem. The 3rd one is just over engineering, so there never conceivably could be an engineering fault or could ever have a problem in the future they could have a recall on or something like that. So they basically over engineer it so there's no flexing of the box here. But you have 1, 2, and then an alignment tab here also. That's more than enough for a little motor like this. So the 3rd one is up to you. Now of course I can put a 3rd one in no problem, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try to get you up inside here through the radio opening with the camera so you can see what I'm doing back in there. Alright, this is the best shot I'm going to get of that 3rd bolt back here. It's right here. So we're going to try to get it in back here without dropping it. Between our 2 fingers here. I know it's way back in there. But once you get into the slot on there, you should be gold. Put the wrench up inside of there. And then hold down on it. And then you can start wrenching it in. I know it's hard to see, but you get the general idea. Use your finger on top, hold your wrench on, put pressure down a little bit, and just start wrenching. Coarse thread, it'll go in pretty fast. Alright, let's grab our connector and plug it in. And it should just kind of go right into place on here. If you want, you can clip this puppy in first so it holds the harness for you. somewhere in that region. And this goes just like this into the side of it. Now once you get lined up in there, just simply click in like that. Okay, that's it. That's all there is to changing the actuator out on this vehicle. 3 screws and a connector and a little bit of finagling of the temp actuator through the ductwork on there, and you can get it out pretty easy. I'd say in half an hour you'd be able to do this, maybe an hour if you don't have all the tools on hand. But it's definitely doable, especially with the dash in place. This one's actually pretty easy compared to like the F-150s and the Super Duties, where the lower one they say you have to pull the dash to change it. And the Escapes, the newer Escapes, the uppers, they tell you to pull the dash on that one also. I've done those without pulling the dash. This one is by far the easiest of the ones where they say you have to actually remove the dash to do it properly. You saw we just did it in a short period of time properly. No banging around, no bending of the ductwork, and we got it in there and saved hundreds of dollars over going anywhere else to get it changed out, because they're going to quote you to pull a dash. No matter if they do it this way or they pull a dash, they're going to quote you and charge you to pull a dash. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about, I don't want to do this, it looks a little complicated. Trust me, it's very, very easy. Just follow my directions and get some fans out here and cool yourself off and just take your time and get it done. Now, going back together, the rest of the dash is literally installation is reversal of removal. I'll put you up on the stand here so you can watch me put it all back together, but I don't think I'm really going to narrate it, but you can watch so you don't forget anything. But it's pretty easy to go back together also, the rest of the dash on here. The biggest thing was that actuator, getting it deep inside the dash in there and that third bolt, but it's very, very doable with that 8mm combo wrench. And like I said, I'll link to everything down below so you guys can just order it up, have everything in place in the box, come in here and just get the job done. Like I said, I'm just going to put the dash back together, not really narrate, but you may want to watch this to make sure you don't forget anything. Alright, so we're going to put the glove box back in here. We're done working up in there. Close it up, put all your stuff back in there. That side's done. Alright, I'm throwing the radio back in here. You guys don't have to remove this. I did this for filming. Up in the dash there. Got our connectors out here. That one, this one. And we got all ours over here for the headlight. Let's put our key back in. That down. And in goes our fascia here. Now, me personally, I do all these connections now before I start fighting it in there. It gets all tight. Just make sure all your connectors snap in, you know, fully. And then it comes loose on the road. Do this side. Okay, so let's get it back in here. I'll lay that side in place. This side over here with the duct work, over here is going to be more of a pain. Just angle it in here though. Get it past your turn signal switch. Down. Same thing over here. Without ruining anything. Alright, there we go. The key with this stuff is just a little at a time and patience. Everything's connected. Let's concentrate on getting it passed. to go down on this side again. Just a little at a time, you know. Especially getting it past the steering column shroud here. You'll get it to a point where it just starts falling into place. See, everything's lined up now? Boom. That's all there is to it. Over here, make sure it's popped in. Same thing over here. Let's go over it again, make sure nothing popped out. It should fit in very nice. Turn our turn signals off. Put this back up. Let's pull your key out. And we could start putting the two last screws, which are up here and here in this trim piece. All our connectors were done earlier. Alright, back together. Now last thing you got to do is a functional check of it. Make sure it's not clicking no more or obviously sticking, and that's literally all there is to it.